realized, actually, as I'm now becoming an official German, but I'm trying to PAV German off at the moment because I'm sending around the Belgique flag, because it looks the same. It's the same flag to me. And no one's used to cotton on yet.
Well, what's interesting?
What's that?
Today's the first time I'm wearing some different headphones.
Okay.
Today is actually the first time I've been actually able to hear all the little things you got going on in that track.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's all that's a lot busier than it sounds, man. When you're not, when you don't have it like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm when I make music, I'm a busy musician. I like my music to be very busy. A lot of like.
Yeah, that's good. That makes it interesting.
Yeah, I don't like playing music. I just can't identify it. Like when I hear like a lot. That's why a lot of like hip hop songs today. Last year's I was like, man, this is very plain. No, man, there's stuff missing. Musical.
What do you think of jazz?
Oh, I love jazz. That's my direction.
Man, jazz is my thing.
Yeah, I mean, some jazz is okay. I actually like jazz, but some of it I find very I can't relax to it because it's very chaotic and hectic, but I do like jazz.
Is that smooth jazz? Or like I got this app on my phone. It's called Radio Garden. You can listen to all the radio stations throughout the whole world. I'm always in like America because they have like the smooth jazz channel. I think it's in New York or something, but I think it's a nationwide channel actually.
Sounds good.
They got the best jazz, man. You can be chilling out and relaxing. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I like jazz, man. I like jazz. Anyway, this is the final episode of for this season, of course, of Living in Germany, which, funnily enough, shares the same name as the Einbürgerungstest. Living in Deutschland.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know it looked. I was like, Living in Deutschland? I was like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So
Did you have any really awkward questions?
There was a question, something about the Minister of Rheinland-Pfalz or something. I didn't know that.
This is the ones that I tripped up on. I just went, don't know, forget it.
I already knew, like, from the questions I had already, I already knew for 100%, I knew the answers. So it was like, I can just quickly write anything with this one. And this, I think there was like 2 questions where I was like, okay, I'm not sure about these 2.
Yeah. And then you can kind of guess one of 3, can't you?
Yeah. I mean, how many can you get wrong? 15?
I think you're allowed to get 15 wrong, yeah. No, I don't know. 19, you had to get over 19 right. It was a strange number.
No. Wow. Yeah, so that's
But did you have any other strange questions that were like, really, what?
Yeah, well, no, not really. I know how they did it now. I understand. I got like 300 questions and they normally have around 10 people per class, I guess, and they mix the questions up.
Yeah.
And I just got looking at my paper because I got like all questions that I knew. I was like, oh, great. But I guess someone else would have got all these crazy political questions and I'll be like, oh.
Yeah, it's the political ones, which I wouldn't know in my own country, to be honest, unless I followed politics.
Yeah, so.
I try to avoid politics at all costs.
The thing is, you're actually really good at it, Eddie Butch, man. I don't know why you're trying to avoid it because you definitely got good knowledge of it.
Well, I mean, the problem. I mean, I'm kind of political, but it seems to me like a lot of people's politics is based on ignorance, and it's like they base their opinions on things that they've heard other people say, and they don't go and try and find out what's going on themselves.
They don't kind of fact check before they open their mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that's got me so depressed about what's going on in the States right now. It's like, oh my gosh, man. People just talking out of the side of their neck about a lot of bullshit, and it just drives me crazy. I mean, I've gotten to the point now where, even people that I've known for years, man, I've known them for years. Like, I was so saddened the other day when this 17-year-old boy with the AR-15 shot 3 people in Kenosha, Wisconsin, right? And this friend of mine, who I've known since I was 19 years old, actually said that it was self-defense and we shouldn't be jumping to conclusions until we find out what was happening, and it's not illegal to carry a weapon and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wait a minute. My response, there is no circumstances under which it was legal for this kid to be carrying an assault weapon, an assault rifle.
At a protest?
First of all, there is no open carry law in Illinois, where he's from. First, he carried a gun across the state line in Wisconsin, right? Now, in Wisconsin, there is an open carry law, which means it would have been illegal for him to carry the weapon, but he's not from Wisconsin. And even if he was from Wisconsin, he's underage.
Yeah.
So there's another point as well, yeah.
So he actually has no defense in it.
And then they said it was self-defense because people attacked him. But people started attacking him after he had already shot somebody in the head, and people were trying to disarm him.
Yeah. So that's not attacking him, that's disarming, yeah.
Yeah, and the second guy that he killed was the guy that was swung a skateboard at him. Now, if you're going up against, I mean, come on, this guy's got an AR-15 assault rifle.
Yeah.
Okay. And with this rifle, the only thing that determines the number of shots you can get off per minute is how fast you can pull the trigger. Okay. And this guy is 17 years old, and he's not old enough to even own this gun, much less carry it across state lines and be walking around openly carrying it.
So what was his reasoning behind it? Do we know?
What he said was that he was going to the protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin, to help the police protect private property.
Okay. Right.
That's it. Who's going to protect us? The 17-year-old?
And he very quickly shot 2 people on the way. So he was obviously
he
practice.
Shot 3 people.
3 people.
He
so he's obviously
2 and critically wounded a third. The
so
third
he's obviously quite well practiced.
I'm sorry?
No, he's obviously quite good with the gun. Then he's learned, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's just crazy at that age, and the whole thing. It's just mad.
Yeah, and when Donald Trump spoke about this kid, he said, "Well, it looked to me like it was self-defense, because if you look at the film, there were people attacking him, and if he hadn't shot, he would probably be dead right now." It's like, wait a minute, 2 people are dead, and a third person is in the hospital, and this guy wouldn't have been in a position to have to defend himself if he hadn't already shot somebody.
Yeah. Exactly. So
there were so many people walking around. There were so many people walking around carrying weapons, okay? And none of the other people carrying weapons were attacked. Now, if people were going around attacking people for carrying weapons, how come he's the only one? And coincidentally, he's the only one that shot anybody.
Exactly. Says it all. So how can Trump even begin to believe that it was in defense?
Trump didn't offer any condolences. He didn't offer any condolences for any of the families that their family members were shot by this little bigoted, gun-toting asshole. He didn't say anything about the reason the people were protesting, and that was because the guy that was shot 7 times in the back in front of his 3 children by a policeman. You know, he didn't say anything about that. You know, all he said was those people were there trying to help the police maintain law and order. You know, and the fact that he didn't mention anything about any of the victims, he's just talking about how those great patriotic people are there
helping the police,
helping our wonderful police.
Do you believe, Butch, that he's actually going to get a second, whatever it's called, run at presidency?
Of course, I think so.
Term.
Well, I think right now he's setting it up to where it's going to be nearly impossible for him to lose, because he's already his new postmaster general is dismantling the mail sorting machines. He's downgraded ballots from top priority to bulk mail status, which means that when mailing out bulk letters are like when you get these advertisements in your mailbox.
Yeah.
You know, and any advertisement that doesn't get delivered properly or doesn't have the proper address on it just gets thrown in the trash. Now,
right, okay, I'm with you.
Priority mail means that they make an effort to make sure it gets delivered.
It's delivered,
regardless of the. But what this guy has done is, first of all, he's like a lot of the Democratic counties in these swing states. He has the ballot collection boxes. He's reduced the ballot collection boxes to where in certain counties there's one box, and if you live miles and miles and miles away from that box and you don't have transportation to get to the ballot drop box, you know, then likely you're not going to be able to vote.
Yeah, exactly. So he's fiddling it all the way.
It's called voter suppression. It's illegal, you know, and by the time the lawsuits get through, the election will be over.
Yeah.
You know,
sure,
and a lot
how can he get away with that? That is.
Well, the thing of it is, I'm going to explain to you how he can get away with it, because he's stacked the judiciary with judges that he's appointed his friends and his cronies into these lifelong judiciary positions, where they're not voted in, they're appointed, which means they cannot be voted out, and these are lifetime positions, right? The federal Ninth Circuit Court just made it legal for the police to arrest journalists in these areas where the protesting is going on, and they're filming the police. They're filming, and before the First Amendment, the freedom of the press, freedom of speech, protected journalists.
Yeah,
but now
not anymore.
What Trump has done is he's removed that protection for journalists, and it was upheld in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which is a federal judiciary bench. And what he's doing is he's slowly and systematically dismantling all the checks and balances that are put on presidential power. He's got an attorney general who is the guy that's responsible for law enforcement. He is the top cop in the United States. And this guy does whatever Trump tells him to do. Now, he's not, his job is to serve the law.
Yeah.
But this is the first time in the history of the presidency is an attorney general serving the interest of the president rather than serving the law. As a matter of fact, this guy just made a statement the other day where he said there's no such thing as systemic racism, and a lot of these people, a lot of these black people that are getting shot by the cops, he said their black cops make the same kind of mistakes, and he's basically towing the white supremacist party line when it comes to enforcing the law.
And presumably, if any of these
everybody
people
expected
appointed,
Jeff Sessions. Yeah, it's crazy.
No, because if any of these appointed people,
it's something I would never have believed was even possible in the United States. You've got Republicans that control the Senate, and the Senate is there's 100 senators, and I think there's 300 congressmen. Republicans control the Senate, and it's like the way it works is the Congress, they are like the cops, and the Senate is like the judges. I mean, it's both different parts of the legislative branch. Okay, but say for instance something goes wrong, as the president does something wrong, or somebody, some senator or some governor, they do something wrong, and it's investigated by the Congress. The Congress determines that this person has broken the law, and then they send it to the Senate. And the Senate's job is to prosecute this person for breaking the law, which is what happened with Donald Trump. The Congress impeached him, and the Senate did the impeachment trial.
Yeah.
But because Mitch McConnell is the majority leader in the Senate, he's the guy who determines the rules of a trial, and he refused to call witnesses. He refused to allow. He didn't call witnesses. He refused to allow them to read testimony. He basically said, "Okay, we're going to try this case. We're gonna let the Democrats present their case. Then we're going to let the Republicans present their rebuttal, and then we're going to make a ruling." No evidence was allowed to be presented.
Yeah, which is not a fair case then, is it?
No, it was not a trial. What it was he pushed through a verdict, and they acquitted Trump. He was not guilty, because they could have voted to remove him from office, but they didn't allow any testimony. They didn't allow any evidence to be presented. And
that's definitely not a trial then, is it?
No, it wasn't a trial. It was a sham.
So guys, what's been going on in Germany this week? Have we had anything exciting in Germany?
Yeah, we can continue that. Sorry, just quickly. We can continue.
Yeah, there was a anti-coronavirus protest.
Was that in Berlin?
In Berlin, yes.
Yeah.
And what I found to be very interesting was that during this protest here in Germany, there was a lot of QAnon members present.
German stupid
QAnon members.
Foolish.
I noticed that. I watched a couple of videos. I read a few things. I noticed that as well.
Actually, the interesting thing I heard was that the people who were protesting was the guys actually put the protest on is actually from the AFD. So if you were seen these guys, So if you seem to walk with these guys or being aligned with these guys, you was pushed into the group of being anti.
Well, that stands to reason because the AFD is a bunch of fascists.
Yeah. But they were
smart.
They always
Trump is a fascist. QAnon is a fascist organization. And Do you know what those guys actually believe, right?
Who's that? The FD?
No, QAnon.
What's their belief system?
They believe Trump. They believe Trump's gonna come and save us all, man. I can't believe
please.
it.
They think that Trump has been sent by God to save the world from this worldwide cabal where children that's run by pedophiles and people who eat children.
Oh God, yes, I read this.
Don't you think it's weird when he's also his best friends with people like Epstein and Andrew and all these guys, but he's the one who's been sent to save us?
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
Actually, the QAnon believes that Trump is making these people believe that he's with them, and then when what's going to happen is when everybody's guard is down, he's going to arrest them all and have them all systematically executed. He believes that they believe that Tom Hanks, John Legend, the Clintons, these people are all shapeshifters. And
this sounds like a really bad movie.
These people are shapeshifters that use adrenochrome.
Yeah.
What is that?
To get high.
Adrenochrome.
That's something when
adrenochrome is something that's extracted from the adrenal gland of children. This is what they say
when they're in fear.
And these people, the elite people, use adrenochrome to get high. And when they say John Legend's wife, what's her name? Christy something. Anyway, she posted that her and her husband, her and John Legend, they went out and they had a pizza that had some really nice aged cheese on it that had been aged at least 4 years in a cave.
Okay.
And it was, and they're saying that these people are actually eating children on pizza.
God.
And they actually believe this shit.
You believe it? Did you just say you believe it, or they believe it?
I said they actually believe this shit.
That's. I mean, how naive are they?
Somebody said the other day, I forget. They said that they rescued over 100,000 children so far that were being held in underground caves to be sold or eaten or whatever.
And this is just crazy talk. Crazy. Anyone could actually believe
QAnon.
it.
But believe it or not, you've got QAnon people now in Italy. You've got them in Germany. You've got them in Poland, Hungary, Russia, Spain. You've got them everywhere. Because the internet doesn't have borders, you see.
That's it. I mean, all this stuff.
You can find a fool everywhere.
Yeah, of course.
And there are people that, and the weird thing about it is this shit was started by some troll on the internet, and it wasn't, and they don't know who it is because it was started on 4chan and 8chan. These dark web sites. I was
going to say the dark internet, the dark web, yeah.
Yeah, and then it started gaining momentum. It started being passed around, and then it some lady just won a congressional district in Georgia, I think it was, and now she's running in a Republican district, which means she's basically running unopposed, and she's going to be in Congress. And nationwide in America, they've got 22 QAnon members that are running for Congress.
No way. God.
Yeah.
That's just mental. But all since the internet. I mean, none of this really was.
But what's happening is these QAnon sites are being taken down off of Twitter. They're being taken down off of Facebook, and they're being taken down off of Instagram. But for everyone they take down, 2 or 3 more pop up.
Yeah, I was about to say that. They can't keep track of it all.
No.
So sick. It's just sick that anyone can even believe it.
It's like an alternative universe, man, and it's like it drives me crazy. Oh, but that was the answer to your question. Anything new happened in Germany?
Yeah. Well, that was quite a good answer. One I wasn't actually banking on.
But yeah. Anyway, what I wanted to do to this show is basically just say, so what advice would you give people who are trying to come to Germany? If someone was going to come to Germany today, what advice would you say or give to them?
Well, Butch, you go first.
What advice would I give somebody coming to Germany and who wants to immigrate to Germany?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically.
Well, I would say I would advise them to do it because right now Germany is still relatively sane when you compare it to the U.S. I would say the healthcare system, though it's not the best, is better than anything you can get in America. I would say be prepared to deal with bureaucracies. In America, you can get things done pretty quickly because even though you're quote unquote the Amte in America, you still have to perform, you still have to do your job. But here in Germany, you'll find that the Amtes, the people that are responsible for taking care of things, I have dealt with so many different times getting paperwork done and having to get it redone and then redone again because some idiot in an office can't find my paperwork and doesn't remember what he did with it or accuses me of never having done it.
I love that one, yeah.
You know, and that's just something that you have to get used to because in America, they can fire these people. Here, you can't. Once a person is in, he's in. They'll move him around, but they won't fire him. The bureaucracy here in Germany is kind of like the Catholic Church is.
I learned pretty quickly for them when I gave them something. I said I would like a copy back with your stamp on it that says I have brought this in because I've often had
that was going to be my next thing.
Yeah,
that was going to be my next thing. Always find out, get a name of who you're talking to, with a time and date of when you talk to them, and I would always be able to go back to the person who you talked to in the first place. Yeah, you know, and make a copy of everything that you've done and when you did it and who you gave it to, and you know, always cover your ass because
exactly. As soon as I've paid something, I always, when I pay something online, I write immediately on the bill, paid online, such and such a day. So no one can ever, hopefully, say you haven't paid that. And obviously you've got your bank account stuff, but just... Yeah,
I just got a thing in the mail the other day about, I forget what it was. And they were asking, they sent me a thing about paying something. And I said, wait a minute, I paid this. And then I looked at the date of the thing that they sent me. Okay, this is dated yesterday with this amount. And then I go back and look through my records and it was paid over a month ago.
Wow.
And I got a mono today. This past week, I got a mono for something that I paid over a month ago.
So it's their mistake, obviously.
and I called them up immediately and said, check your records. This is the because I paid it online, and I even gave them the transaction number from where it was paid from my online banking account, and then they said, well, we don't have it on our records. So I sent them via email a photocopy of the receipt from where I paid it online.
Yeah.
And then they said that they're going to look for it. I said, well, you do that because I found it.
Exactly. I have it. Yeah. No, definitely photocopy everything at least once. Keep a file, a yearly file with everything in it. Because there'll be the one thing you don't keep is the one thing that will come up. I've learned that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And like you say, get names even on the telephone when you're making a phone call. And my other bit of advice would be, as soon as possible, try and learn a bit of the language when you get here. I was really lazy with that, but try and get into it. Try not to be, hey, I speak English, so the rest of the world.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would say to them, don't pretend you don't speak English, and you might get further. Like if you choose not to say, I speak.
Oh man, I was laughing my ass off. I was in the store in Stuttgart. This was about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And this guy was really jumping this sales lady shit because she didn't speak English. And he says, "What the hell is this? You guys expect Americans to come in here and spend money, but you don't have any salespeople that speak English." You know, he said, "America." He said, "English is the world language." And I laughed at it.
No way.
I said, "Dude, where are you from?" And then he told me that he was from Michigan. I said, "Well, how many Germans can go to Michigan and expect to find a German salesperson?"
Yeah.
I said, and he said, "Well, you wouldn't be able to." I said, "Exactly."
Yeah.
You know? And then I said, that's one of the reasons, that's one of the things that gives Americans a bad name. We think we can go anywhere in the world, and these people have to accommodate us. Yeah. You're the classic, right now you're being the classic ugly American.
Yeah, we have the classic ugly British people as well that shout.
Yeah,
get louder and louder.
Said to me? He said, "What's it to you, buddy?"
God.
I said, "It's people like you that make it difficult for everybody else. You know, you're the one. You're fulfilling a stereotype right now." And then I explained to the lady that this guy doesn't know any better, and he said, "What are you saying?" I said, "Exactly."
How brilliant.
Exactly.
That's brilliant. You could have said anything about him. That's so cool.
You know what I mean? Well,
yeah.
I told her that he didn't know any better, and that I apologized on his behalf, and you know, and I asked the guy, I said, "So what is it that you want?" He said, "I want to take my money somewhere where it's appreciated." I said, "Fair enough."
Oh God. Then go back home. Yeah. Basically.
Go back to Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you advise people of, Wayne?
I don't know. I was thinking I would probably say to people when you get here, get familiar with the laws. Watch out for all the speed cameras. I think I went over that.
Yeah, definitely.
Watch out for speed cameras if you drive.
And if you can afford it, get private health insurance.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. If you can afford it. I'm talking about people because most people who come to Germany are probably not people who are rich, probably poor.
Shit, I know lots of people that come over here with deep pockets, and
why would you come
to
Germany with deep pockets though, knowing that the tax is they're gonna you know, I told you the story about that guy from Dubai, or was it Saudi Arabia or something, and he got thrown out. He was, how do you call it,
deported?
Yeah, well, deported from his government.
Why? What happened?
They said you can either stay here.
I'm sorry, dude. You were kind of breaking up. Could you repeat what you just said?
Why would you come to Germany with deep pockets, knowing that they're going to take all the money off you, or at least a good haircut, Like, for example, this guy came from Saudi Arabia or Dubai, and he was told to leave his country or for 15 years or face 15 years in prison. So he chose to leave. And then he obviously had some money over there, so he told his brother to send him 100 grand. The finance amt, the police, Sol, they all stopped his money and visited him, paid him a visit, at home.
Okay.
What are you doing with all that money? Say, it's my money. He said they were really nice, but he was like, he couldn't believe that he couldn't. And then they took their cut, which was probably around 40K. It was probably around 40K. Yeah.
God.
So I wouldn't come to Germany. If I had money, I would go to somewhere. I'd probably stop at Luxembourg or Switzerland if I had to be in
Switzerland,
Europe.
yeah. That's like neutral.
But I wouldn't even go to Switzerland. I'd go to Liechtenstein.
Yeah, or somewhere like this, yeah, or Monaco or somewhere like this. You know what I mean? What's the other place in the middle of
those places where you got these massive tax shelters?
Yeah, that's where you go.
Because Switzerland is not the same Switzerland that it used to be.
No,
because it used to be you could stash your money in Swiss banks, and and it was like it was nobody's business.
Yeah.
But now the Swiss are like cooperating with they're cooperating and diming people out. Yeah, he's got millions socked away in our banks. Yeah,
that's pretty shit. And what about the Caribbean though? You could stash money in the Caribbean.
Panama's good.
Or the Canary Islands.
Yeah, or Gibraltar. If you need to be Europe, Gibraltar, or one of these like islands off the coast of England, Isle of Wight. They're like tax havens, man. All of them.
Yeah.
Guernsey, Jersey.
Yeah.
Those places, yeah.
The Canary
don't bring
Islands,
loads of money here.
These places, man, you can or anywhere like in Dubai or Abu Dhabi or anywhere in the UAE, man. You can because the thing of it is, a lot of these people in Dubai and a lot of the Muslim countries, man, they don't believe in paying interest and shit like that. So so they have banks, man, that you can just put your money in there and you don't have to pay interest on a loan. Say, for instance, you borrow money, that's what you pay back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they believe it. They believe they like in the Old Testament in the Bible, you got the Jewish people are also people who don't believe in they call it usury when the money changers take interest on your money. They make money by helping, by loaning money, and they turn around and make money on that stuff. That's something that they consider to be evil. So places like that where you put your money, I like it.
Yeah.
Offshore banking, or do like a lot of these people are doing now. They're buying Bitcoin.
Yeah, I've got a lot of that. Well, I don't have a lot of it, but I have some of this. Actually, no way, I sold it, but I want to buy it back again, man, because you gotta just watch the prices when it goes down.
Did you make any money on it?
Actually, I'm actually.
You don't have to tell me how much.
No, I'm ashamed to admit that when I was making when I was making maximum profits, I didn't sell. So what would have turned out to be a few thousand turned out to not be a few thousand in the end because I didn't sell. I was stupid. But now I'm like doing it slowly, so I'll make that money back eventually. But yeah.
Okay.
That's annoying.
I'm very suspicious of things like that.
Back in the day, I've got one of my sons, man. He does a lot of things online with Bitcoin, and the cool thing about it is it's between him and the other person that he's dealing with, and the government. None of these people have any clue. Bitcoin.
Okay.
Bitcoin is the shit, but as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't have a clue, and I wouldn't know what to do, or
neither would I.
I wouldn't it's something that I just happen to be a little bit too old and too set in my ways to understand or to even learn. I mean, you got to learn a new language, you know. my son, yeah, man, he said, yeah, Dad, you know, he was telling me that some of the things that he's able to do on the dark web, you know, and they've got layers upon layers upon layers of security that you dive so deep that nobody knows what you're doing except for the people that are down there with you.
I wouldn't have a clue, and I don't want to know, actually.
Yeah. I'm like, when he starts talking about that shit, I'm like, yellow?
Yeah. What?
Get some crazy stuff.
Is it green? What is it?
I'm still working out my mobile phone sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
How do I scan? I've scanned it in. Where is it?
Hey, I'm still finding out. I'm still finding out shit that my iPhone will do.
Exactly.
I've been doing Android for years, and now I've got an iPhone. And
oh God!
Like, people are showing me things. Oh man, you can do this. You can do that. I'm like, oh wow. I'm like, how come my battery's dying so quick? And then they push a couple of buttons, and then they oh damn, Dad, you got all these things open and that are running in the background, you know. And he's just shutting shit down. He said, damn, Dad, you got over 100 pages open here.
I ring my son and he says, I've already told you and showed you 4 times, Mum. Yeah, but please, can you just tell me again? No, he said.
So, you know what I'm doing? I'm reading a book about how to improve my memory.
Okay. Is it working?
Oh, actually, I'm really amazed at how simple it is. And these exercises are so
it's just basically building stories.
Then, you know, it's like word association, things like that. How you attach, you use chaining to remember things.
Yeah.
You know,
just building stories up.
Hey man, it's crazy. It's like they give you like 20 things to remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? And you go, well, how in the fuck am I going to remember this? Right? and then it's like everything. First, it's like word association. You know, say for instance, they give you a number 1 through 20, and you got to remember 20 items. Okay. First, item number 1, say for instance, is a tree.
Okay.
You know, they say tree it looks like the number 1. Okay.
Yeah.
The number 2, light switch. Okay. Light switch. You know, a light switch on, off, light, dark. That's 2 things.
Light, dark.
Right?
Yeah, 2 things. Okay.
Yeah. And then now, say for instance, if somebody says, okay, what's 16? Okay, candy. Right? I know candy is number 16, you know, because sweet 16. What's sweet? Candy.
Ah, candy. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Then put the title as a link into the group, and I'll try and get round to remember to buy it.
Oh my God!
Or look at it.
You already failed.
My girlfriend gave me this book because she got tired of me forgetting shit.
Oh, so you got that for your birthday, yeah?
No. It's been around. It's something that she read years ago.
Okay,
you know?
cool.
And this girl doesn't forget shit.
I've been doing English crosswords.
Shit.
I've been doing English crosswords on my phone, and that is actually really testing me. And there's different levels of difficulty, but that's pretty cool. And I like to keep my vocabulary up because some of this is like you have to really think, and it's really good. I like it.
Yeah. I was like number 14, wedding ring. You know, 14 is like Valentine's Day, the 14th of February.
Good.
Right? You know, wedding ring.
Just create some more stories. That's it. Just create some more stories, and you want to remember stuff, and you'll be good.
Yeah.
You know, the number 18 golf course. 18 holes of golf.
18
You know
holes.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like craziness. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
something
simple.
that you can associate with a number. And then at the end I can run off 20 things. And this is like after a 15-minute reading a 15-minute exercise, I'm able to remember 20 things.
That's good.
In a row. Boom, 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 boom. With no hesitation. And it tells you, don't go on to the next exercise until you can remember, until you can automatically recall. And it took 15 minutes.
I knew
one of our school teachers did that in the first year of secondary school. He gave us an alphabetical list that we should remember until the day we leave. And some of us actually did remember it.
You mean apple for A, ball
yeah, but it
for
wasn't.
B?
Yeah, but it wasn't. Yeah, like that. But simple. It wasn't simple things.
It
was like aardvark, broccoli.
Yeah.
Weird things.
I remember a guy.
Yeah.
We did it.
That's the same thing. Word association.
Yeah.
It's like you visualize when you hear the word, when you see the letter B, it's hard not to have that picture of broccoli coming into your head.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with me and that exercise. It's the same shit.
Yeah. Every time you see a certain number.
I used to know a guy. He used to remember credit cards by just looking at them one time, and he used to he was engaged in a lot of credit card fraud. He would only have to look at your card one time, and he would know all the numbers. I was like, how do you do that?
Shit.
Yeah. He was a high level criminal.
This guy says you can come into a room and 50 people could tell you their name, and by the end of by the time you leave that party, you'll be able to say goodbye to everybody. How many times have you met someone, and you say, who, I can't remember. And then you see him again, you go, hey, guy, what's up?
Yeah.
And you don't fucking remember. You don't fucking remember.
They could say to me, hi, I'm Jack, and I haven't even heard Jack. It's gone straight out of my head.
Yeah, because you don't link the words to anything. That's how I link the words as well. Because I think I've read the same book as Butch. So words to the names, like if someone says, I don't know, Catherine, I'll be like, oh, Catherine from Cafe Airways or something, and I'll just remember it. I'll always see her and think of Cafe Airways, and I'll be like, oh, Catherine, yeah.
I'll have to start doing that.
Yeah, so that's how it is.
Yeah. It's. I'll send you the link. As a matter of fact, it's called Improving Your Mega Memory.
I think I can remember that.
Improving just think,
I'll send you what I'll do is I will send you, because I'm not going to go out there and grab the book now because my girl it's sitting on the table because I was reading it this morning, and she's sitting out there visiting with a couple of friends that came over to see her. And I don't want to go out there because I don't want to talk to anybody.
Scary. That's fair enough.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty chilled, so
I'm gonna go and eat a brownie now, I think, because
I'm gonna go and cook some really nice lamb with some wine and have I don't know, just gonna create something in a frying pan.
Well, today I made a nice arugula salad with feta cheese.
I need your address, Butch. I love rucola.
I need his address too, man. I'm coming over.
Shit! Next time I'm visiting Darmstadt. I'm visiting Darmstadt the end of September, so I will be calling in.
Hey, all you have to do is let me know when you're coming, and I will fire up the grill, and we'll have a nice salad. One of my favorite salads actually is you won't believe it, but it's watermelon with mint leaves, olive oil, a little bit of lemon juice, and goat cheese.
Yeah,
it is amazing.
I had this in Spain. My vegetarian friend introduced me to that, and I was like, "What?" But it was lovely.
And I'm addicted to watermelon at the moment, man.
Yeah, well, you best get hurrying up buying the last of them because winter is coming.
Yeah,
dude. I can't wait till winter comes so I can drive my neighbors crazy grilling every day. I don't even give a damn if it's snow on the ground. Help, man, come on.
Yeah.
I used to grill with 2 feet of snow on the ground when I was in Missouri, you know, and my neighbors would be looking out the window talking about how crazy I was, right? And then this guy comes over. He comes crossing over the street, and he's got this big steak. He goes, "Hey, can you grill this for me? and then just bring it to me when it's done." I said, "Nope."
That's pretty.
I said, but if you want to, you can come over here, and I'll put your steak on the grill. We can have a couple of beers, and then when the food's done, we can sit down and have a meal. You can bring your family over, you know. But I am not gonna cook for you.
Cook your meat.
This is not some kind of delivery service where you come over here, drop off your meat, I cook it and deliver it to you. What the fuck, man?
Oh my God! Seriously?
Well, that might be a business idea.
He said, "Fair enough," and he brought his family over, man.
That's cool. Good way of making friends.
You know, and then the next thing you know, there were other people on the street barbecuing in the wintertime. You know? There's no rule that says you cannot barbecue in the winter.
Exactly. Have a great evening, guys.
You too.
All right.
You too.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. What we're gonna do is Liz's gonna join us on another podcast, and me and Butch are gonna continue doing a continued podcast going forward.
Till Thursday then, yeah?
Yep.
Okie
I'm looking forward.
Yeah, man. It's going to be excellent. So, guys, keep in touch. Stay tuned.
Definitely.
It's not the end of these guys. Of course, Living Journey will return as a second season.
Dude, what's the I have a question for you. What's the first conspiracy theory podcast? What's particular? Are we just going to be like throwing out anything we want to talk about, or is there going to be specific?
I'll start a group
topics for specific shows.
I'm going to start a group, but I think we'll probably we'll see what we know in it. We'll see what we know.
Okay, cool.
All right, cool. Guys, thank you.
Okay.
And see you.
Love, peace, and hair grease, man.
Yeah, man.